How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another Counterside video. And we're back at it, making predictions once again. I want to say from the forefront that I'm going under the assumption we're going to be moving at a slightly expedited rate. Not going really fast, but going fast enough to try and slowly cover the distance between where we are and where, say, C version is. So that's the guess I'm making right now. So my predictions might be a bit too fast for what they actually do if they decide to go at a slower rate, but I think they are going at a slightly faster rate. So with that being said, we do have a roadmap that covers up to August, and the information that we have for August is these units that will be coming up on your screen now. Now the dates there are what should be the dates for the banner. August 18th is when Awaken Lee Soo-yeon ends, and we should be seeing Na Yubin pop up. Then, with the two new banner sections there, we know those 4 units are all supposed to come out in August, and that's the order they're listed on the roadmap. So, Ifrit, Estok, Naela, and Mika Star. So that's how I broke it up, is in that direct order they gave us. Now, whether that's 2 units on one banner or 2 separate banners, I think with the 2 tanks, they're probably going to be stuck on one banner. And then with Naela and Mika, they'll probably be separate banners. But those are the dates those should run. August 4th for Ifrit and Estok, August 18th, Naela and Mika. And then when the current counter pass ends, August 18th, the next one will start with the Edith twins. Now, the information we don't have for August is the filler banners that we'll have, which is the term I use for those alternate week banners that they use to run for units that are already in the pool or have been in the pool. And these are my guesses for the fillers in August. Since both of the new banners are 2 units, I'm expecting only a single unit for each filler banner week. Now, if they combine Ifrit and Estok onto one banner, they might throw a second one in that filler week. And if they do Lee Soo-yeon, they might do Na Yubin as well, but that seems a little less likely because Awaken Na Yubin will still be up, but entirely possible. Filler banner 2 would be Einzen's Y, if not here, in the very near future, because it's been about long enough since their counter pass ran, so it should add up about right that we see them popping up on a filler banner on their first actual banner in the filler section relatively soon. And then I also put on there a bonus Awakened, because if they're moving at that slightly expedited rate, then the week after Na Yubin goes live, we should see our rerun of Yumina, because that's about when my mic just fell, sorry, because that's about when the timing adds up, because it'll be about a month, give or take, since the rerun of Hilde happened, so adds up about right. Now, before I get into my actual predictions, I do want to talk about the counterpass units. So what you'll be seeing on your screen is, just like in the last prediction video, all the counterpass units that I could kind of gather, and I've learned that the order of Awakened, the order of Counterpass, and just general unit release is different between Korea and C. But also that these are all supposedly Counterpass units, so the order is a bit different. The order that I have on this image, I believe, is the Korean version's order of things. You can already see where we slightly switch things up, getting Ludmilla before the Edith twins. And then I know that in C, they got Hanami, and then I don't remember her name, but the girl to Hanami's left. So, hard to say what order we'll get things in, or I can't even say for certain every character here is a counterpass unit, but I do know the majority of them were counterpass units, especially from KC back, were definitely counterpass in one or both of the versions. And then in that bottom row, I'd say about half of them were definitely counterpass units. So again, counterpass info out there, so you know what units might be on a counterpass to look forward to. The biggest one to look forward to, and the biggest one that stands out, is of course Replacer King, because it's an awakened unit on a counterpass. So that's 10 copies of Awakened King or Awakened Replacer King for free. Well, sort of for free. I mean, once you buy the counterpass. And I don't think that's going to change, because that would probably raise a pretty big stink if we didn't get that and both other versions did. So that's being put out, and I would say that our counterpass is probably more likely to mimic C than it is Korea's version. So if any of these didn't appear on C for a counterpass, and they probably won't appear for us on global, but I mean, that could change. That could be surprised. They might take something that was a counterpass for both of the other versions, not give it to us as a counterpass, and then give us one of these that C didn't get as a counterpass. It's just entirely possible. So it really is a remain to be seen. But these are the pool I will be pulling from when I predict the next couple counterpass units as well in this predictions. So starting around September is when we're going to get our first point of actually predicting, actually guessing the future. And I'm going to throw up my predictions for what is basically September on the screen now. I think it's a super safe bet that Xiao Yun will be the awakened unit following Na Yubin. And I know that's one a lot of people are looking forward to. I myself am also pretty excited to see her. The new banners, though, is something that I'm sure will catch some attention. The new banner 1, I don't think should come as anything too surprising for anybody. Mostly because this is a unit that already came out for Korea and C. Like, Yinxing is, I just feel, is a pretty obvious choice coming up right after what they've already announced. That's just me, though. But still, we've had a event where she popped up in it, and it just seems very likely. I feel like that's a very safe guess. I mean, obviously I can be wrong, and if you disagree, you disagree. I understand. I mean, nothing's really set in stone just yet. We don't have a roadmap for September and beyond. Now, the thing that really comes as contention proof is new banner 2 here, because you'll see that Lily, who was on my counterpass list, is under a new banner. And I think that being because we saw her Rob, who was a counterpass unit, get thrown onto a new banner with Serapel, and I think this is what we're going to see here, is that this is going to be, that Lily's going to skip the counterpass entirely and come straight to a banner. This is my prediction, and she's going to come alongside Veronica, and that's just going to be new banner 2. Again, like I said, I've been moving at an expedited rate with these predictions, so this is what I'm expecting. Another counterpass unit taken from the list, put onto a banner straight from go. Now, that being said, that means the next counterpass after the other twins could very well be the Replacer King. So September, great counterpass if that's true, and ironically enough for me, that is going live the day before my birthday, so woo! Filler banners here. I know we're going to get a Na Yubin filler at some point, so I matched it up with the week with a 2 unit banner, or 2 separate new unit banners being a single unit, and so I put Na Yubin there. And then for filler banner 1, I know Frederick probably is going to pop up on the filler relatively soon, so I put him here and paired him up with Shaolin. There's a good chance that if we don't see Einstein's Y the previous month, Frederick could be there, and then they could be here. But that, I mean, that's a strong possibility as well. That is my general guess and layout for this month of September. This month, as far as predictions go, seemed pretty safe. I felt like it was kind of clear where they're headed with their next few units after the order we've gotten things thus far. It's everything after this where things get a little bit hazy to see what's coming next. However, with Replacer King being the counterpass and overlapping into October 12th, I think it goes without saying the awakened unit that we might see after Xiao Yun to be the Replacer Queen. So there's a little bit of an overlap with Replacer Queen and Replacer King being up at the same time. In one of the versions, I don't remember if it's Korea or the C version, they got the Awakened or the Replacer King counterpass and then Replacer Queen, and then it was vice versa in the other. So it could go either way, and we could see Casey on the previous counterpass and then see Replacer King where she is. So you can flip those as well. I just went under the impression of they release Replacer King first and then do Replacer Queen, mostly because at this expedited schedule that I'm functioning at and guessing at, we'll have a rerun Awakened banner here. So not too many Awakened units at the same time if that's the case. So I'll go ahead and say that I expect that in this Awakened unit banner after Xiao Yun, the week after it goes live, we'll see another rerun, and this one being for Yuna. So if you didn't get Yuna, here's your chance now. Now as for the new banner, these first two are going to pretty much match up for wherever Replacer Queen comes out. We're going to see Rook and Knight. So these can be moved wherever Replacer Queen is. They're all pretty much released together in both versions. So obviously, since I'm guesstimating and making the prediction that we'll see Replacer Queen here, we'll see these two as well. And I went ahead and assumed that we're going to get them both in the same week, as painful as that might be, on two separate banners. I'm pretty hard set that these will be two separate banners. They're not going to stick them on the same banner. This is... You gotta pick one or the other if you're gonna summon for them. I'm picking Bishop. I don't care whether she's good or bad. And I did partially stick these two together on the same week because they still need to put Janice out, and this is probably the best spot I could put Janice. Really, all I could think where to put him. Whatever, because it's just because of the way I've laid out my predictions. I knew Janice had to come at some point, and this is the best place I could squeeze it in my predictions. So this is where I put it. Probably not the most accurate, but we will see. It could be much sooner, to be fair. So like I said, the counterpass here is Casey following Replacer King. Those two could be flipped. And I'm not even 100% whether Casey will be a counterpass. I had to really think about that one. But I feel pretty safe saying that she will. So we'll see her here potentially. This would be a pretty fast, or rather, yeah, pretty fast, pretty early order release for her, but I have a reason for that when I go into my third set of predictions here. For the filler banners here, Gaun hasn't had a banner herself, so potentially seeing her, I feel that's slightly likely. We had Chifuyu show up this last week, so why not see Gaun around here, maybe? She might be much earlier, to be fair. And then for filler banner 2, I have double filler here, because only one new unit on my prediction. That being Xinjia. Mostly because, again, she hasn't had a banner. So, good opportunity to be filler. And then I think this is going to be where we're going to start seeing some reruns too. So I have Rosaria here as a rerun filler. because it's been enough time that she probably cycles in. So again, all the dates for these banners should be accurate, even if the units aren't. So keep that in mind as well, I suppose. And then for my final set of predictions, what I have, I am very, very uncertain of at this point. So we have an awakened unit that should pop up after where I have Replacer Queen. This could be the evolved one, or it could be Amy. And it's hard to say which one. And honestly, I can't say which way I think it'll be, because I could make a pretty solid guess to either. And with the actual order of these two being pretty different between Korea and the C version, I mean, it's really anybody's, ball field, anybody's game to make this guess. I want to lean towards Evolved One getting put out here, but at the same time, Amy makes a strong opinion too. Like, I can't pick between the two which I think will fill here. And the reason I think that it's going to be one of these two is because the Awakened after that, I feel pretty confident guessing. So whichever one is not, so if it's Amy and not Evolved One, or Evolved One not Amy, they're going to be two Awakens later. They're going to be the Awakened after the next Awakened. And the next Awakened after them, I feel very confident saying is Ministra. And that's going to line up to be releasing on the same day as the Counter Pass with Spira on it. That's the big reason I ended up in that predicament, is because I'm pretty certain that Ministra and Spira are going to release on a date where the new Counter Pass and New Awakened launch at the same day. And this is the first time we have that in the foreseeable future, so that's where I stuck them from go. This was a very early prediction when I put all these predictions together, so I kind of used it to shape some of my others. Now, the new banner units here for like end of October, beginning of November, yeah, it's at the point where I'm like, man, I don't really know. I don't know how to guess where to guess going that far ahead. At that point, it gets a little tricky. So, you could see these guys flipped and have it be New Banner 2 and New Banner 1 spot and vice versa. Or you could only see New Banner 1's units across two new banners. I feel pretty safe saying that around this point we'll see these 4 units coming out. I just don't know the exact order. It's kind of a hard guess, but that's the prediction I'm laying down. That's the prediction I'm putting out there. And with filler banners around November, I'm thinking Regina should come around for her first actual banner. And you might see an Edel rerun with her if we only have one new unit the prior week. It is a possibility. Though I will say Filler Banner 2 is very easily going to see a Sigma rerun. I think it should have been long enough by this point for us to start seeing some reruns. And so we've seen Rosaria, now Sigma. Maybe you can flip Sigma and Regina there, and then you might see an Adele rerun with Regina in that Filler Banner 2 slot. But there is a roughly 3-month predictions for me from what is September all the way to the end of November. What our next handful of Awakens are, what our next handful of new units will be, and what our next couple counter passes will be by my guess. The filler banners really just shooting in the dark. There's no real rhyme or reason for the most part. Like the fact that they released both of the Nanahara's siblings in the same week kind of was just like, whoa. Wasn't expecting them to do that. Usually they'll take pairings of existing units that are in like the same team or whatever, release one in a group 1 week, and then save the other one for another week. But they release both of them at the same time. So it's like, yeah, their filler banner, that filler banner slots, there's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason as far as I can tell. They're just kind of putting out banners, so I'm just kind of putting out guesses in that regard. I feel pretty confident with my Awakened unit order. They could flip and put Minestra and Replacer Queen switched, and that would of course switch those counter passes as well. I'm fairly confident we'll get Replacer Queen first, and that seems like a good spot. If we don't get Replacer Queen after Xiao Yun, we'll probably get Evolved one and then Replacer Queen. That is an option. And of course, remember, wherever Replacer Queen moves, you're going to see the counter pass around her, whether it be the one before or after, be Replacer King. And then, of course, the new banner units around her are going to be Replacer Rook. Not Rook. Replacer Bishop and Replacer Knight. So, there is no roadmap as of me recording this. So I am truly predicting into the future blindly here, and not ignorantly. So I'm very excited to see if whether the end of August, or somewhere around August, the end of August, we get a new roadmap. Hopefully with this one they're a bit more clear on some things, because I know that is a bit of a point of contention with the current roadmap issue and the fact that we have Lee Soo-yeon up at all right now. So fingers crossed that they're a bit more clear with the next one. And we'll see when it goes live. I might be making a video to kind of guess where, to compare how my predictions were with the actual confirmed units coming. So I'll see you all for that video when it comes out. And yeah, so I thank you everybody for watching. If you liked these predictions, please hit that like button. Maybe consider hitting the subscribe and coming by and checking out some of the mini counterpass videos that are on the channel. I try to release at least one a week outside of my patch notes. It doesn't always work, but I try. And then you can always catch me on Twitch, where I stream a multitude of games, including counterpass. And if you want to know about stream schedule, always just follow me on Twitter. It's pretty reliable, keeping up with what I'm doing. So with all that being said, I thank you all again for watching. Let me know your predictions down in the comments. I'm curious what you think and what you think of my predictions. Let's see what everybody's got thinking and rattling around in their heads. And yeah, so thank you all again, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.